Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, doing another talk to the tape. And as promised, yesterday on Steelers Depot, we profiled Jon Bostic and took a look at a couple extra plays of his that I didn't point out in my initial report of his. And we're going to do the same with Morgan Burnett today. And just look at a couple plays and kind of talk through it together. I think it's just a different way to look at it as opposed to writing an article. Maybe it's helpful for some people and just an opportunity to watch a little bit more of his game, the good and the bad, and how the Steelers might use him in 2018. So just a handful of plays here. I just went through my notes and picked up some ones that I thought were good examples of the kind of player they're getting and a little bit about how he's going to be used. So the first thing I wanted to do, and I mentioned this and I wrote about it in the article on Steelers Depot, but just to again bring that visual to you guys is to show one way that Burnett is likely to be used this season, and that's going to be in that dime backer type role. Now, I think in their base defense and some of the, 1st and 10 stuff, he's going to be used as your more traditional strong safety, which granted comes out in the box quite a bit anyway in Pittsburgh, but is it going to be replacing a linebacker? On 3rd and long, 3rd and 5+, when they go dime personnel and 6 DBs, I think you're going to get that. And here's an example of it. I think I actually had this clip in the article, but I just pulled up the first one that I had in my notes of Burnett replacing the linebacker. This is a 2-3-6 dime defense where the inside linebacker came off the field and Burnett slid down to replace him. So we'll run through the play here real quick. The result doesn't matter too much. I showed it again, like I said, on Steelers Depot. But where he's going to be that dime guy, the same way that back in 2013, I think it was, when Larry Foote got hurt in Week 1, and Vince Williams was a rookie that was only playing 400 snaps on the year. Troy Polamalu came down and kind of played in this role. It's going to give you more flexibility, covering close to the line of scrimmage, a little blitz stuff. And again, just that option to go dime, to take another linebacker off the field, give you a better cover option, give yourself some more versatility against teams that are going to spread things out and go empty and 4 wide, and the matchup headaches at running back and tight end, and sometimes at slot receiver, that offenses are going to give you. So, I could go into a half-hour video about how this is going to work, and it's no guarantee. The Steelers' defense right now has a lot of options of how they want to create their dime defense. Obviously, the draft still has to happen, and we'll kind of get a little better idea of where this defense could be headed after that. But I still think ultimately they're going to take all these guys in the camp. They're going to see who excels, who's comfortable where, and go from there. So I don't want to make any final conclusions about exactly where some of these guys are going to line up, because I don't think the team even knows yet. I think they're going to just wait into camp to see how guys like Cam Sutton are doing, what they're going to do with Sean Davis, any other new guys they bring in, J.J. Wilcox with an offseason under his belt. So the bottom line is I think there's plenty of options, but nothing is going to be set in stone in regard to how exactly that dime defense is going to look. With Burnett's an option there. He's done it before. I think he has a skill set for it, and that's certainly something that makes a lot of sense on paper. Again, we're going to look at him in this dime linebacker type role. Here he is, again, replacing the inside linebacker here. He's going to match up over number 2 receiver, and we'll go from the aerial view again in a second. It's going to force a tough throw in the red zone and create the incompletion. So there it is down the seam. Russell Wilson's throws behind, incomplete. So again, you're going to have a versatile guy. You'd rather have a safety background covering a receiver like this, or I think it's a receiver, a big tight end, rather than your buck linebacker, in this case, Vince Williams. That's going to be something that Burnett's going to be able to offer. He's got that experience and the mentality to succeed in the box. You're talking, likely pass situations, and again, in dime defense, 2-minute offense by the opponent, 3rd and 5+ are the most likely situations you're going to get dime. And he's going to present a much better option than, say, your buck linebacker, while still being able to blitz and give you some run support and some physicality, on screen plays, on draws, the occasional run, whatever the case is. So that we're just kind of getting a feel for where he's going to line up in that situation and what he's going to bring to the table. So it's not going to show up in the box score a lot. It's not a pass deflection. It's not an interception. But you're going to squeeze that throw, force a tough pass in the red zone, and create the incompletion. Going to look at a similar example here later in the Seahawks game. This is from 2017, by the way, Week 1. Let's get to our next play. Again, Burnett Down here over Jimmy Graham, over number 2, the big tight end. Some of these matchup headaches. Who's your answer for him? Morgan Burnett's got a good chance to be that answer in 2018. So down here, bottom of your screen, match him on the out route. And obviously the ball doesn't go that way, but the the coverage is good. I'm not going to allow that throw really no matter what. So again, who's your answer for those type of guys? I think it's going to be Morgan Burnett. Sean Davis has had obviously his troubles. Now, last year with Gronk was a multi-layered situation. It is Gronk, first of all, and second of all, some miscommunication didn't give Davis the help that was necessary. But I think Burnett's going to be someone that's going to excel in that role, at least a lot more than what Davis did, and certainly more than the other dime solutions the Steelers have had in the past, whether that's Robert Golden in 2016 or 2015, 2016, and William Gay last year. Both guys now that obviously are no longer on the roster. So look at it one more time here. So I expect Burnett to, do his best work close to the line of scrimmage. I know that I think Colbert said they're gonna, not make any, final calls right now about, who's gonna play strong and who's gonna play free, which is predictable. Colbert, GM speak, that's fine. But I think when push comes to shove, you're having Burnett for that closer to the box kind of role, not to play center field for a guy that's 29, that's never been much of a playmaker, and he's not the most athletically gifted guy. But we'll see what happens. Again, my reservations on Sean Davis, and the one thing about Burnett playing free is that he's going to be a really sure tackler, which is going to be important. So again, I think this defense is a little unsettled, but that's okay because I think it needs to be a little unsettled to get better. And this team has options, and hopefully through the draft they're going to add some more options, and create the flexibility and ultimately let the best players play. Okay, this one comes on 3rd and 1. And again, one of my other themes of the article that I wrote for Steelers Depot was that, Burnett was a, take away their best player kind of situation. I kind of called it like the old school baseball stopper, where you needed someone to shut their key guy down, whether that's a receiver, a good running back, or tight end. And Burnett was usually the guy they called upon. So Burnett's going to play literally about 10 yards off line of scrimmage here. And the coverage here is what they call cone coverage, where if number 1, runs a shallow inside route, instead of the corner trying to carry him and then get caught in trail position because you're just not going to be able to get back in phase in time with a guy coming inside of you, you're going to have the safety come down and basically pick him up instead. The corner is going to pass number 1 inside to the safety, and that safety in this case is Morgan Burnett. So don't really see that much in Pittsburgh, but certainly an option and a nice concept. And Burnett's able to kind of work through the trash on this mesh route, make the tackle. Now, it is a first down. It's 3rd and 1. It's really hard to stop. But you see a sure tackler, no yak, and, if it's not AB, but some more average receiver, maybe you get an incompletion there. But just another idea, having Burnett, and this is part coverage, maybe not exclusive to Burnett, but you're seeing him being tasked to take away their best player. And you saw it against Le'Veon Bell plenty in this game. I saw a little bit against AB. Saw it against Jimmy Graham before in that Seattle game we were just looking at. They were doing a lot of spying with him on Russell Wilson. So, basically the game plan felt like in Green Bay, whoever their best guys were, number 42, Burnett, was coming in to be the answer. And it was done in a whole lot of different ways, which again highlights his versatility and the trust they have in giving him a whole lot to handle, him executing at a pretty consistently high level. So what's the last look there? Let's get to run defense now. Go to the 3rd quarter for this one. Looked at his coverage a lot already. And run defense is consistently excellent. Not a big physical, knock you out type player, but a reliable wrap-up tackler. Does a great job in the alley, which we saw here. But that's going to come into the picture last second here. Just going to read Bell. Reading the eyes to the back. Here's the alley. It's going to fill the alley. Low man wins. And Bell gets stood up for a couple yard gain, 2-3 yards, whatever it was. I forget what the yardage gain was. But meeting the best back in the league in the whole and stopping him in his tracks. That gets the small push there, then help comes. But that's a great job by Burnett And you're going to get that consistently, no doubt in my mind about it. So whether you're playing that dime role or more likely that traditional strong safety role, because they're going to play in the box, I'd have to get the percentage on it. We track that stuff. I don't know the number though, but you're probably playing in the box. You know, if you exclude obvious pass situations, you're probably doing it 50% of the time, maybe more actually, if you're looking at just kind of first and second where you could run the football. That's something Burnett's going to be able to do, and that's why I think he's a good candidate for that strong safety spot. So we'll look at it one more time. Let me get the next play ready. So for the next one, we're actually going to go back to 2016. Week 6 against Dallas. You have to find where the game's at. We're going to go here late in the first quarter. I think this is the right play that I want. We'll find out. Yep, that's what I want. So again, Burnett down the box here against Jason Witten, the tight end. Who's your answer against the tight end? It's going to be Morgan Burnett. Great jam at the line. Mirrors him the whole way. No chance that ball's going to Jason Witten. And we'll get a look at the end zone view. I'm not sure if it shows it well or not, but you're seeing him blanket him the whole way. You know, Witten does this little nod route upfield. I think Burnett still has good coverage. He's going to be able to make a play on that football. And ends up being a sack, fumble, recovery for Green Bay. So again, here's Burnett lined up. Close to the line of scrimmage, middle of the field. That's where he's going to do his most damage. Against Jason Witten. Again, I get Witten's not Gronk at this point, but still. You're going to see the hands, the press, the reroute, still on him. And, you know, Witten hasn't gotten any separation at all. They end up falling off screen. But a great job there by Burnett. You see his ability to jam these guys. You see it against Jimmy Graham. You see it against Witten. That has me excited as someone that can be an answer against some of these tight ends, where they give you some size problems for some defensive backs and some athleticism issues for some linebackers. Now again, Witten's not the best athlete, even if this is 2016, but you know, you're getting the point, you're getting the idea of his skill set, what Burnett's been asked to do, and what he's shown he's capable of doing. So we'll look at it one more time from the end zone view. Again, Burnett lined up there. And a great jam. And ends up being a great play for Green Bay. Look at one more from this game. In the third quarter. I think it's the third quarter. Actually, I think I'm going to go different play. I'm going to mute my mic real quick. I'll watch this play. Just watch Burnett fill the alley here. I got a train coming. I don't want to blow you guys' eardrums out. Okay, I'm back. And just pointing out Burnett here in the alley. On the backside here, you can get this Lee Strong to the left. You know, Zeke sees the cutback here for all the flow, kind of collapsing it, but Burnett staying at home, reading the back, square to the line of scrimmage, coming downhill, making a nice tackle, being able to bring his feet to that, and not allow a big run there. So that's patience, that's your technique, again, staying square vision on the football, anticipating the cutback, maintaining your run fit, not over-committing, and then, you know, being able to fill that alley and make enough of tackle, other help gets there, and they get Zeke down. I thought Burnett had a really good game against Zeke here. A couple other plays I showed in that Depot article that highlighted, you know, filling the alley, playing the run well, and not letting Zeke make too many splash plays. Okay, last one I want to show you guys from Week 11. Against Washington. Wish I'm going to have to search for this one. I forget what quarter it's in. Do a little bit more in coverage. Showed a lot of what he's done in the box. But if he is going to play strong safety, there's going to be times where he's been playing as, the 2 high safety. So he's going to be up top here. And again, his best work coming that middle, intermediate, close to the line of scrimmage and the intermediate crossing route. Just going to read the route here by number 1 on the dig, being able to close on it, and the pass comes incomplete. Does a really nice job of that. Ends up being, I think it's Vernon Davis, the tight end. But still, that read, react, close, make the play. You're not going to get a super splashy guy in terms of interceptions, but I see a guy with really good ball skills in terms of the ability to finish the play in the pocket, and disrupt the catch point. That's different than hands. Hands I consider something just your ability to get interceptions and get to that level of the play, make that kind of splash. With ball skills is the ability to break up the play. I think Burnett does that at a high level. Go back to the aerial view for you guys. So again, just that read, react. He's going to be a little limited in terms of athleticism. Some stuff in cover 2 has gotten him. He's got to get off his landmark a little bit. Maybe he is a little aggressive with the eyes, but that's natural for a safety. But again, I think if you're talking line of scrimmage, intermediate, middle of the field, that's going to be where Burnett's best. So I see him as a team starting strong safety, and then ultimately moves down into that 6, dime role in sub-package football. Is going to make Steelers feel really comfortable about playing dime this year, where they've probably been a little hesitant in the past, which could let them play a bit more. But even if they don't play it more in terms of volume of snaps, they're certainly going to play it more effectively. And even if that snap count only ends up being 25%, they're huge, plays in terms of how critical they are. Because again, we're talking 3rd and 5+, money downs for the defense. We're talking 2-minute offense, and a half, and a game stuff where you don't want to give up points if you're a defense. So they're hugely critical, group of plays, and Burnett's going to have a real impact role and a positive role there, and that's why you should be excited about the signing. So Pittsburgh's still going to look for a long-term option. They're still going to draft a safety, because even on the dime, package alone, you have Burnett, you have Davis, who's a 3rd guy. You got to have 3 safeties in this. So J.J. Wilcox, I'm not totally comfortable with that. Where does Cam Sutton fit into that? I mean, these are all valid questions, but you definitely want at least a 3rd safety for both the short term and definitely the long term. But I think Burnett's a solid signing. Most of what you see is consistently positive. It may not be elite, it may not be super splashy, and that's a separate issue for this defense, because I'm still wondering where the splash is going to come from. No Shazier. You bring in Burnett, who's not the type of guy in terms of making big plays. John Bostic really isn't that either. I'm a little curious where that's going to come from. Is your pass rush going to get 55 sacks again this year? That's going to be a little tough to do, but that's a whole separate, discussion, separate video and topic to discuss. But overall, that's what you're getting with Morgan Burnett. Again, I see that consistently when I watch, and I watched, I don't know how many games I watched, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and watched all the impact plays that he made for the last 2-3 seasons, and you're seeing that kind of consistent high level play. I wouldn't call it elite. It's not top safety stuff, but it's certainly very good. In a niche standpoint, it's going to feel what the Steelers need. It's going to improve communication. It's going to make sure you have a leader out there in Burnett, a good communicator. All some serious issues that Pittsburgh encountered last year, and I think bringing in Burnett, and as we talked about yesterday, bringing in Bostic are going to be a good way to solve that. So let me know your thoughts on Morgan Burnett in the comments below. How would you use him? And give me your thoughts on the dime package and who you think is going to be a candidate there, because that's certainly, I think, completely open for discussion, and I'm excited to watch it unfold. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.